Welcome everybody once again to the Monetize You Show. Man, we have a great show for you today. But before I get started, I want to just welcome everybody to the show and say this is Gail Turner Brown. I am your co-host for today's show. I am a broadcast entrepreneur, a consultant, and an all-around fabulous Miss Diva. That's who I am. And so once again, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. We are here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. And we are here to bring to you all of those who are looking for a ways to monetize your talents, your skills, your expertise, even your hobbies, and turn them into cold, hard cash. So if that is you, then you are in the right place. So as per usual, once again, what I normally do is this. I give you two things to think about. Number one, if you're here for the first time, first of all, give a share, let people know that you're here, and grab your pens, grab your papers, grab your recording devices, because you do not want to miss not one single thing that we are going to be talking about today. If you are hurting for money, somebody else in your family is hurting for money, some of your friends are hurting for money, then you want to make sure that they are here, because we are going to bring it on today. Okay. The other thing is, number two, I want to introduce to you my partner in success. He is a Mr. R.L. Chance, best-selling author and implementation strategist. Take it away, Mr. R.L. Chance.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. And she said it. This is your boy Chance, #1 best-selling author of Monetize Your Skills. And that's why we have this show, to help monetize you as well. So this afternoon, we have an awesome show lined up as usual. But today, we have never actually discussed this topic. So you would want to stay tuned. If you would like to be able to monetize using this strategy, trust me, you owe it to yourself to block out the next 50 minutes or so we can rock it with today's featured guest. But before we do that, let's do again some housekeeping. I need you to like, comment, and share this on your Facebook. You can tweet it out, whatever you have to do, but invite somebody else to come on, because last week you saw we gave out some gifts, and today is no different. At the end of the show today, we're going to be giving out some gifts for those who participate by commenting, engaging with this page. But pretty much like, share, comment, whatever you have to do. Let's get rocking today. Gail, today we are talking about eBay, right? And so we have a wonderful guest today. We'd like you to introduce him and our topic today. But please, guys, take notes. You don't want to miss this, right? This is an effective strategy that's working, and you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. Gail, back to you.
All right. So, yeah, we got horses in the house today. Okay. So here's the deal. Yes, we're going to be talking about eBay. This is a topic that, as you know, the Monetize You Show, we're all about showing you the various ways that you can monetize you, okay? With very little knowledge, very little expertise that you have to have outside of what you may already know. And so one of those ways is eBay. Now, we've all heard of eBay for a long time. And so today, and especially because we're rolling up into the holiday season, and so we thought, you know what, this is a really good time to share with you how you can use eBay as a strategy to monetize you. So I reached out to my friend, Mr. Joe Wilson, and it was amazing to me. This is going to be a fun show. So first of all, let me let you know that right now. And this is how you know that it's going to be fun. Mr. Joe Wilson shared with me how, first of all, he's been on eBay for 17 years. He's a former comedian, and he sold a jar of air on eBay. Okay, so that's how you know you're going to have some fun today. So without further ado, I want to bring on my friend and classic movie salon host, Mr. Joe Wilson. Thank you for coming, Mr. Joe.
Yeah, Chance, thank you very much for having me on. This is already fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, as always, we always like to start from the very beginning. Okay, so talk to us about how did you get started with eBay? How did you go from comedian to eBay?
I actually did both for a long time. I think that's the one thing that everybody, you know, if you've got a day gig or whatever, or if you have a day gig and a bunch of other gigs, trying to make stuff happen, eBay is a little more passive in terms of what you have to do to make stuff happen. Actually, I think the first thing, as you were talking about eBay, I think the first time I ever sold anything on it was like 98.
Wow, it's been out that long?
Because I moved to Los Angeles in '97 and had a gig. I moved with a company from Boston here, and then the company shut down, and I was unemployed and collecting unemployment insurance and needed cash. And I remember selling a Hasselblad. I went to school for photography, for photojournalism, and I had a Hasselblad, which are really expensive cameras, and that's where I sold it. It was on eBay. And it was a different account, because the one I have now I've had since '01. And but yeah, eBay's been around forever, and there are a lot of other eBays. I'm also on Grailed, which is just a men's clothing site. I'm on Poshmark, which is men's, women, and kids clothing only, and also makeup. And each of them has sort of like a different system, different percentages, a different style. eBay is probably the least time consuming. The other ones, you have to be a little more hands-on, and it's a little, especially with Poshmark is a social media platform.
Okay.
It's not just like, here's my stuff, buy it. It's way more, you're sharing other people's items and they're sharing yours, and you get followers, you follow other people. So it's a little more involved, but yeah, I would highly suggest, you know, if you can block off a chunk of time, look around your house, hit a thrift store, and because I wanted to sell, I lived in Hollywood for a long time. I wanted to have a garage sale, and then I'm like, I don't want to have a garage sales with hookers and heroin addicts as customers, which would have happened. So I'm like, I'll go on eBay, and I just started, go on eBay and look for sold listings. Do not look up what people have stuff listed for, because that is the price that they dream of. That's the price that they think they're going to get. What you want to look at is sold first, go through it and see what the average number is, because sometimes somebody buys really high, somebody buys something low, and also look at the date. How many times does that particular item get sold on eBay?
Right.
Once a month.
So, okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there, because before you get, because you're getting into some meat. So you know, we need the appetizer first, okay?
All right.
Appetizer on. So, okay, I'm gonna throw it over to Chance, because I'm sure he's got a couple questions for you too.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, you know, one of the things I love is, for example, I know I haven't been hearing a lot lately about eBay, so I'm glad that we have somebody on today for eBay. You know, we've heard about it for a while in the past, but, you know, of recently, I haven't been hearing it. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad that we have Joe that's making some money with eBay, that he knows how to get into it, right? So just, you know, take us from the top where, for example, if somebody wants to get into eBay, what would they have to do to be able to make a start? You started mentioning, of course, look around your house, so we can begin there, right? But what would they have to do, setting up account and those type of things?
Well, I mean, you do have to go and register. You also are going to need PayPal. That's pretty much how the money moves. If you don't have PayPal or don't want to use PayPal, I believe eBay might be a problem for you. It is. I'll give you an example. My wife had a T-shirt I gave her in the '90s, and she didn't like it. and wore it once and kept it. It was a Pinky in the Brain t-shirt. And so when I started selling some items from Supreme on eBay, she pulled that shirt out and she's like, "You think I can get anything for this?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So I started searching on eBay, and it was considered a vintage t-shirt. And it was selling for like $40 and change. And it's a t-shirt, that was sitting in a box for 20 years.
Wow. Pinky in the Brain.
Pinky in the Brain. Remember that? So she was way more of an Animaniacs fan. And then it's really, the other thing with eBay is you can list something as an auction, or you can list something as a buy it now. If you list as auction, it's at most 10 days long, and it is dependent on how high the bids go. If you don't put a reserve on it and you start at 99 cents and one person bids 99 cents, they're going to buy whatever you just put up for sale for 99 cents.
Right.
You can do a buy it now, and that can be, 7 days, or it can be 30 days. And I would recommend doing that, because I sort of feel like the auctions are a waste of time. If you have the time for them, but it's much more time consuming. If you list, I don't know, I think I have like 97 listings on eBay at the moment. That takes a lot of time to do all that.
Yeah.
So when stuff doesn't sell, it's really easy to click the relist button.
Right.
So that is the way I've been doing it recently, and it's the way to go. And sometimes stuff takes a couple of months to sell.
Okay.
I had that happen this morning. I got a pair of Chamala jeans, which cost about $350. They're really rare. Like the company website is just a contact page. And I bought them for $1. And I sold them for $70 this morning.
Oh,
okay.
And I've had them for 2 months.
Okay. So the bottom line, it's sounding like not necessarily to expect post it today, sell it today, Okay.
No, I think it's, and that's the hard part of this is you think, because I definitely did, like, I'm just going to slam out a bunch of listings and I'm going to get stuff selling. And then I'm like, wow, stuff's not selling. And you start looking around eBay and you see your item, a bunch of other people selling your item. Some of it's that, and sometimes it's just like whatever you have, people don't want. And I've got a bunch of items that apparently people do not want what I have.
Right.
But you got to keep going. And the other thing that happened was that those Chamala jeans sold on Grailed. I had 3 sales over the weekend on Poshmark, and I haven't had a sale on eBay in a week.
Okay.
So it's not, none of this is an exact science. I don't push a lot of my stuff on social media because I don't want to turn into Sir Spam-A-Lot. But
Sir Spam-A-Lot. Okay.
I
like that.
It's just like, buy my stuff, look at my stuff, here's my thing, buy my thing. And I'm just like, shut up. Just talk to me like I'm a person. How about that?
Well, especially if you're not adding value. Sometimes folks push their things, no value, and it's just buy. So
exactly.
Like I do live streams that have absolutely nothing to do with anything I do.
Right.
And people enjoy them. Like Stormcrest Cage Match, the show I do on Wednesdays. All I do is play people's requests. Everyone votes on everyone else's requests. I talk over the music the whole time. It's a giant copyright violation I've been doing for over 2 years. And,
good for you.
and people enjoy it, and I'm not in the DJ business. I'm not in the music business. It has absolutely nothing to do with what I do, but it's like a little block party online, and it's a lot of people I know from Snapchat and all these different platforms, and it's fun. And I think that if you can create whatever it is that you do on social media, find some stuff that is, like Chan's saying, like provides value, but don't think you selling stuff to people is valuable. It's got to be more than that.
Okay. Well, now, so before we go on, I just want to say hello to people over in Periscope land. Hi, Nick. Hi. I think I saw TJ come through, and and somebody mentioned it was hard. They had a hard time finding us on Facebook. I should have been more specific to make sure that they know it's monetize you, just the letter U.
The U, yeah.
Supposed to, yeah. So sorry about that, but you did find us. So thank you. I'm so glad that you are here, and we are here. Oh yeah, and the Biz Chicks are here. Thank you, Biz Chicks. So before we move on, I just want to again welcome everyone here. This is the Monetize You show, and we have with us Mr. Joe Wilson, who is the eBay expert. Who we're gonna get him to talk about how he sold a jar of air on eBay. So that is gonna be fun. But at the moment, he's also talking about how you and the expectations, and I appreciate that you are making sure that people's expectations are realistic, that they're not necessarily going to post it up now, everything's going to sell right away, that it does take some work, it does take some effort, right? And
really does.
And I also want to mention before we continue that as Chance said earlier, guys, make sure that you are commenting and liking in on our page, because we are going to have a giveaway by our sponsor, the Cell Phone Video Store. We're going to be giving away a selfie ring light so you can illuminate your fabulous face.
I have one of those.
Yeah, you said you. Oh, awesome! Yeah. So make sure that you're liking the page and you're doing all that great stuff, because that's how we're going to determine who gets the selfie ring light. So,
talk about that, Gail. We do have some folks on the Facebook side as well.
Okay.
So we'd like to give a shout out to Nick. Nick just joined us. Roy Martinez, that's my man. He has a wonderful show too, by the way. Erica, Michael, Shomanda. By the way, Erica has a wonderful question just before Joe goes into the next segment. She wants to know, can the PayPal account be a personal account even if you are going to be selling on a regular basis? I guess, does it matter if it's business, personal, or?
I don't think it matters. I have had both. It's really, unless you are pulling in like giant amounts of money and you want it to go into some kind of like a business PayPal LLC sort of thing, maybe, but I think most people have a PayPal account. So, and if you don't, it's not a huge deal to get one. And it is, you can take credit cards, you can actually get a device, put it on your phone and swipe cards and sell face-to-face somewhere. So not that there aren't other services that do the same thing, right. But you don't need to have a special PayPal to run eBay at all at any level, unless you're selling like millions of dollars worth of jewelry.
Well, okay, but let me ask this though: if you have ramped it up, like, wouldn't a personal PayPal, doesn't that have, I'll say, a limit in terms of how? Before, I'm trying to think, how do I say this? I would think that if I'm selling something one-off, and so every once in a while I might sell something for 20, 30, 50 bucks. But then Chance starts and he is Mr. Implementation. So he is like selling hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. I would think that he would determine he probably needs a business account versus me having a personal account.
Perhaps, but the time that's going to take Chance to get to the point where he's selling $100,000, he will have made a decision based on his experience, because you're not going to go from $0 to $100,000 in any amount of time. That is going to take a long time. And also figure out, okay, what do I sell? I sell dolls. What's the profit on the doll? $3. So how many do you need to sell a month to get to 100,000? A lot of dolls.
Right,
full-time stuffing boxes with dolls.
Right.
It's time to find it. It's the time to list it. You got to research it. Then you got to sit on it. Then you've got to ship it out. Write a nice note card. I always do. People get a "We're all famous to a few people" sticker. Anybody buys anything from me, it kind of makes their day a little bit. But yeah, to have a hard rule of you should have this if you're making $100,000 a month and this if you're not, if on your way to making $100,000 a month, you'll know what to do.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it goes to also personal, you know. I mean, you make the call. You can make the call on that one. It doesn't seem like a hard thing. It's just, hey, you collected money, just find some way to put it, whether it's personal or not. So
you can't do anything on eBay without PayPal because no money is going to go through. So
get started.
Again, I don't think that PayPal. The one thing I will say about PayPal: do not use it like a savings account. When the money comes in, I don't care if it's $8 or $20, get it out.
Okay.
All right now.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So, thanks for coming by, ladies. The Biz Chick said they've got to go. Thanks for coming by. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Chance. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's a good word. So make sure you stay by until the end. Okay, we have some other stuff. I hope that answered Erica. Yeah. Hey, she's optimistic. She says, I will be selling millions.
Yeah.
LOL. Well, you go, girl. So you better start with our business account then. All right. So back to Joe. Let's get some more meat out of here. Make sure, guys, you're commenting, you're liking. We see more folks coming in on Facebook. Wonderful, wonderful. Keep sharing over there. Keep commenting.
Yeah, absolutely. And same thing over on Periscope side, guys. I appreciate if you make sure that you are retweeting. And for those of you who may see this later on, hello to my replay viewers. Thank you guys for being here as well.
Awesome.
So Joe, let me ask this then. Suppose you don't have stuff in your house anymore. Suppose you just cleaned everything out. But you still want to sell on eBay. Where do you go? I'll say source some of the things for you to sell.
A thrift store can be a good place. It really depends on the individual thrift store. And it also depends on what you're buying and what the potential sell is. Because let's say you buy 10 pairs of jeans for $10 because they're all lucky jeans.
Okay.
And those things are going to sell. Or even let's say True Religion jeans
right.
sell even more. So
yes.
So you've spent $10 a pair on 10 pairs of True Religion jeans. So you have to sell them and you have to ship them. Jeans are heavy. Jeans usually weigh more than a pound, especially True Religion jeans. So now you're in priority mailing. So you're over $9 already. So now you got to work in, if you do free shipping on your eBay listing, which some people appreciate, you're just incorporating the shipping into the cost. It's not like anything's free for anybody, but sometimes that makes people jump faster because they're like, oh, that's the whole thing. I don't have to pay for shipping. I'll do it. But I think those sources can be good, but like I have a couple of things. I have a thrift store here in Los Angeles, and this is the only reason I went hardcore recently, that sells 10 items for $10.
Okay.
They do not know what they have.
Okay.
They don't have the time to go through it. It's a charity. They do good stuff with the money, and they feed people and help families, and it's they have more donations than they can process. Like literally there's a pile of plastic bags behind the store, and there's shelves with more plastic bags full of donated clothes. That store is Beverly Hills adjacent. There is money coming in. That's where I found those Chamala jeans, which sold for $350. I got a t-shirt there that was some Misfit shirt for $1 that sold for $32 because it was something. Armani, Banana Republic,
stuff.
And Taylor and Klein. I got a Stella McCartney for kids sweater dress. I was there with my friend Morgan, and I'm like, Morgan, I don't know anything about women's clothing or anything. I got to learn. I'm like, can you just go through this row and tell me, is there anything worth anything? So I don't have to sit there because that's the other thing here's the thing you do at the thrift store. I go there with my friend Morgan a lot. And so Morgan is disabled. She's in a wheelchair. And so our system is I go through the rack and I'll find like 5 things and I'm like, I don't know. And I hand them off. She researches them. So she runs. And so we're both there. Like she's on her phone, I'm on my phone because we have a pile of clothes. And we're just like, All right, that's not worth it. That might be. And you start doing that. Now, when you're doing that, I do it out in the open. They know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not hiding a thing. And I buy a lot of their stuff, and they know I'm making profit on it. But it's like, well, you can make profit on it too if you want to spend all the time I do. Listen to all the stuff, and you don't, because it's just too much clothes. That Stella McCartney thing, Morgan found it, and she did the research right away, and she was like, yeah, just buy this. And bought it for $1. That thing retailed for $140. I sold it for $25.
Wow.
It cost $1. So that, but again, keep in mind, I've got probably 70 pieces of clothing I haven't listed yet, sitting here, because I did a hard buy one day and just scored and walked out with 42 pieces of clothing for $95 total.
Oh man, wow, that's all right.
And that is designer stuff. That's dresses. That's Anne Klein. That's Karen Miller. That's and I'm lucky in that regard, because some thrift stores, they know what they got.
Yeah.
Right.
And they jack the price up based on it, as they should. Right. But these people, you can, like Goodwill. I've been amazed. There's a big Goodwill. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but there's one that we hit on Venice here in Los Angeles, and I was literally watching clothes like being walked from the back and put on racks. So you're just kind of like wait until they drop it, and then you walk over and what's that?
Yeah.
It's coming up, and you end up finding stuff. But it is, I worked as a private investigator for 11 years in the intellectual property field, trademarks, patents, that kind of thing. So I know the research game really, really well. I know that kind of mindset. And some people don't, it's work, and it's, I enjoy, like, I don't care. This is pretty much where I wear every day. I don't care about clothes at all. I don't have any kids. I've never bought kids clothes. I bought the first dress in my life last week. I'm just like, no. All right, I'll buy that. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Wait a minute.
I don't know size. What? Yeah, I don't care.
The first dress last week. Okay. If it's something you'd like to share with us.
No. It's just, when you're Poshmark, another thing. Here's the thing with Poshmark, just because it comes up a lot when you're doing research for your eBay things, and sometimes it comes in handy. Poshmark is. It's, again, a much more of a social kind of thing. It started as women's clothing. My friend Kathy Adams, who is, blanking on her username. I'm Joe J. Bay everywhere. Joe J. B-A-Y. eBay, Grailed, and Poshmark.
That's easy. That's good.
Very Joe J. Bay. But with Poshmark, it started as just women's clothing, and it only went to men's clothing in January. So I don't know in terms of, because this is the other part of selling anything. eBay's saturated. It's a big place. So sometimes people are searching for your thing. On Poshmark, you're pretty much like, you're just sitting and you're looking at the app, and things just you have to share your stuff to keep it at the top of the listing. And they have parties. Like there's a party going on right now on Poshmark where everyone will sell one kind of clothing. Right now is the best in jewelry and accessories party. So if you sell anything that is an accessory or jewelry, you would hit that hard, because what happens is that party, everyone on Poshmark can see that party. It's not just your followers. So the listings just fly.
Okay, yeah. Because I've been getting a lot of those, this kind of party, and I'm like, I don't have any idea what's going on. And I have to look at y'all later. So
honestly, I think this, along with social media, live streaming, really anything you're going to do is I look at social media like it's a neighborhood, and it's a neighborhood that I build.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
I build a social media neighborhood I want to live in, so I don't have to spend all my time arguing with idiots. I don't, life's too short. I've spent enough time arguing with people, and the end result of arguing online, no one changed their mind, and you've just had maybe some good cardio. So with selling stuff online, I think that it's similar. Like I have repeat customers. I have, people who are just like, oh, I really like this. It's not my size. But the the patience to do it, and the patience, like if you get on Snapchat, if you get on any social media platform, you have to learn the neighborhood.
Right.
You have to learn how is this neighborhood different?
Yeah.
Because Poshmark is a completely different neighborhood than eBay. And Railed is
totally different too.
It's just men's clothing, and it, I don't know, it feels like it's all men. It is a lot of like hard negotiating.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Well, one need to take a quick break because this is good stuff, and I'm glad you said there's something that you said that I was curious about, and Chance kind of led off with it was like nobody hears about we in general, you don't hear as much about eBay anymore, and I remember thinking, I thought eBay was dead. So it's not dead, but it is saturated, so it does take a lot more to get what you want.
Well, if you have something that people are looking for, there's a lot more people looking for it on eBay.
Right. Okay. Right. So
and then picking your platform too. I mean, just like all the social media platforms, you got to figure out what's good for you. And like my man said, when you get into a neighborhood, like you want to be known in the sense of being consistent. And that's where for example, this show, we try to teach people as well, using social media, using live stream, different things like that. If people don't know about you, don't know about your product, then guess what? Your product wouldn't be found. So you got to be able to contribute consistently, to your tribe, to your stuff. And I think, Joe, you have a little quotation back there. Maybe it's on your T-shirt. We're all famous to a few people. Is that what that says? Right. So your tribe is your people that you can become famous with, and you may not have everybody, but if you have a tribe of folks, they're going to buy your stuff whenever you list it.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So Gail, I think you have something that can help folks out with that too, though, right?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. As I had mentioned it to Joe earlier. So check this out. For those of you who do have things that you sell, okay, whether you are selling, whether you are selling on eBay from out of your house, or whether you are selling because you belong to a network marketing company, or maybe you make things, you make handcrafts and things like that, we're going to provide you a platform to do that. Because guess what? Next month is a huge month, okay? It's the holidays. So we've got the super duper, extra super duper, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. And we're always looking for places like, where can we go? What can we do? Well, guess what? We're going to provide that platform for you. You will have an opportunity to be a vendor, if you will, on the special 3-day event that we are hosting for you. And so once again, we are calling it the largest 3-day holiday home shopping event that will be streamed through Facebook Live as well as through Periscope. So you can now take some of the suggestions that Joe is sharing with you, along with all of the other things that you may have. And if you want to come on and demonstrate your product, show your product, share your product, sell your product, because that's the name of the game here, is going to be a show and sell 3-day weekend. And so if you want to find out how to make that happen, we've got everything all set up for you, where you can go to, and I'm going to give you a link. I don't know if we actually also have that link.
Yes, right on the screen there.
Okay,
right on the screen
okay, there. I can't see. All right,
show tell.
Okay, yeah. So show and tell. Yeah, so it's going to be bit.ly/show and sell. That's what we're doing, okay? So if you want to participate in that large vendor event, then you want to take advantage of that, because we're going to have a ton of fun. Again, we're going to have a lot of giveaways. I'm bringing on some folks. Because it's the holiday, the kickoff of the holiday season, man, we're going to have holiday people who are going to be singing. We're going to have a blast. And we'll see if we can talk Joe into coming as well, because it's just going to be a ton of fun for 3 days, nonstop, showing and selling for those days. And last but not least, the other thing is the 10% of the proceeds that it takes to be a part of it is going to go to help the victims, or I should say the recovery of the people in Puerto Rico as well as the U.S. Virgin Islands. They still need a ton of help because of Hurricane Maria. And so that is our way of giving to them. And so, so you know what? You can have a whole bunch of fun, sell a whole lot of stuff, and be able to contribute to that particular cause as well. So with that being said, we're going to continue on. Once again, for those of you who may just be joining us, this is the Monetize You Show. We are listening to Mr. Joe Wilson. We're having a conversation about eBay and how it's still alive and kicking, and you still can generate some money on there. You can get some things sold, and he's kind of breaking it down for us. And we're going to go into a little bit about how he sold a jar of air on eBay. If you can,
I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I'm telling you.
So with that, I'm going to turn it back on over to you, Chance, and you can pick up on it from there.
Okay. Well, actually, first let's give a little shout out here. We have again, Mike is making some good comments here. Appreciate you, Mike, for what you're doing. He said he loved the name of the event. Shamanda says, yes, she got that point. Contribute consistently. Awesome. And yeah. Vicky Jevons just actually joined us as well. So guys, perk up your ears real quick, because who in the world sells air? I want to hear from Joe. Joe, please enlighten us. How were you able to be able to sell some celebrity air or whatever that is?
Exactly.
That's right. It wasn't regular air. It's celebrity air. Okay, celebrity air. So take it away, Joe.
And that part of the idea came from my friend Pamela Dumond, D-U-M-O-N-D. Look her up. She's got like 11 or 12 books. Very talented writer. I met Pam as I wrote a bunch of movies. She wrote a bunch of movies. We were both struggling screenwriters for a long time. And it was 2005 when the Virgin Mary Cheese Sandwich was selling. All the crazy things were selling on eBay for thousands of dollars. And they were all over the news. And it kept coming across. And I'm like, what can I sell that's stupid? So I thought ocean air. I would get a jar of air, because my sister lives in Boston. I'm like, you can get to the ocean pretty quick. Get a jar of air from the Atlantic. I'll get a jar of air from the Pacific. We'll sell 2 jars of ocean air. So in the winter, when it's cold, you can get a little ocean vibe for 2 seconds as it passes by your nostrils. And so Pam said, you should collect the Pacific air in Malibu, because maybe celebrities breathe it. I'm like, celebrity air? That's way more valuable.
I love it.
We're like, well,
I love it.
Where do you find celebrities? And I'm like, movie premieres. And then we're online, like finding movie premieres, and it was Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Oh, okay. Now my mind went to was it Carol Lombard and Frederick March? They were the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh yeah.
I'm totally showing my age. Yes, I am, people. I don't know about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, but I do know about Carol Lombard.
I think one of the remakes. I still haven't seen the movie. They're having the premiere. It was the first time they were seen in public as a couple, because that's when all breakup stuff happened. And I got to that premiere at like, I don't know, 7, 8 in the morning, stayed there till like sitting on bleachers with people who were like, so are you here to see Brad or Angelina? And I'm like, I'm just here for their air. People don't want to hear that. So so they show up, I shoot a mason jar. I got a mason jar. And as they're walking by, I took pictures of them. I took pictures of the jar being sealed on the plant. Wow. And I took it home. I was running a fake news at that point, satirical news. We called it fake news at that point in history, and called poopycaca.com. And so I started writing about the jar of air there and listed on eBay. It got picked up by every NBC affiliate in the country.
Wow.
And then it went to Jay Leno, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight. I did morning radio all over the country and in Australia. Jay Leno did a bit about it on The Tonight Show. If you search on YouTube for Jar of Celebrity Air, you'll find a little 1.5-minute thing with a bunch of clippings. A bunch of video clips from it. And so then there was hate mail. Because people were like, people are starving and you're selling air? That is ridiculous. And I'm like, you are correct. It is. I'm making fun. I agree with you. So then it got to $99 million. And the reason it got to 99 million, not that I ever expected to collect on the 99 million, but it was so ridiculous. And so eBay started taking it down because they said it wasn't selling anything. You're selling air. That's not anything. And I spoke to a lawyer she knew, and the lawyer was like, sell the jar. So I started selling the jar. Then they said it was keyword spam. They took it down again. Every time they would take it down, I would put it back up, and I'd have like 25,000 hits in like a minute. It was unbelievable. I was talking to people all over the world, like people who got it and other people who didn't. And of course, the running joke was, "Will you get any celebrity farts?" And that was funny the first 200 times I heard it, buddy. But I was contacted by Golden Palace Casino, which was an online casino. Their marketing company was based in Canada, and they said they would pay $25,000 for the jar, but it had to be on eBay because they're essentially they had bought the Virgin Mary cheese sandwich. They want the marketing, want the advertising, because eBay had sort of cornered me. No one could find the listing because it was very easy to search. And now all of a sudden it was like they couldn't find it. And so it sold for $529, which again, air. And then I sold pictures of it to People Magazine and National Geographic for kids and a couple other things. So I made more money selling pictures than selling the air. But and then I ended up doing a half-hour sort of one-man show storytelling thing about the whole thing called A Jar of Celebrity Air, because I read the hate mail. It was just, and I did stuff on like the Fox affiliate here in LA, the CBS affiliate. It was just
all from that.
Just from that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And this year, someone sent me a screen grab from RuPaul's game show in the spring, and it was a question on his game show about the Jar of Celebrity Air, and so that's 12 years ago.
Wow.
People start talking about it.
These things happen. I tell you, these things happen.
What they say? Only in America.
Only in America. I thought, like, where can I do this again? And I not that I couldn't do it again, but finding that sort of perfect storm of
it was a good convergence
very
there.
famous people, all this interpersonal stuff. First time they're out where everyone knows they're a couple. That kind of thing. You don't trip over every day.
Right. That is so funny. That's and Carolina says that was very impressive. That was definitely creative.
Thank you. It was
to say the least.
Very, very fun. And then after that, I sold for charity. Weird Al Yankovic stepped on a welcome mat, and he didn't sign it. He just stepped on it. I took pictures of him stepping on it, and I sold that for $300. But that was charity. My friend J. Keith Van Stratton used to have a talk show. It was a live talk show. It was just run, it wasn't aired, but it was in a theater, and Weird Al was a guest. And I'm like, hey, do you think I can get Weird Al just like, would it be cool if I asked him to step on a? And so he was like, yeah, come backstage. And after the show, on stage, and I unroll a brand new welcome mat. Click, 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 click. Thanks, Weird.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. You got folks asking, Shamanda saying, now what's my stupid crazy sell? folks try to come up with a niche or something.
Write down all the stupid crazy ideas, even the bad ones, because when you get your brain working like that, when you're not criticizing the ideas as they're coming out, like, write down the stupid idea, write down the crazy idea, because once you do that and you keep going, you will find a Jar of Celebrity Air or another idea that is just as bonkers.
That is wow. That is amazing.
I remember seeing something where a pregnant woman she advertised her stomach for people to put advertisement on.
I kind of remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at
Man, I tell you.
It's like, and yes, and she got bids, so I can't remember how much it was. There was a person. Oh, there was a person who sold their virginity, and then there was a person who sold their soul. But basically, what he did was say, "I'm an atheist. I want anybody out there who is in the religious field to convince me that there is God, or I'm supposed to have spirituality. So I'm going to let you bid on you having an opportunity to change me over, right?" And I can't remember how it got sold. Both of those things got sold.
Okay.
Selling your virginity, I mean, come on, you can do that out on any street. You don't have to do that on eBay. But I mean, people have sold some crazy stuff, and so I don't think people should go necessarily that far. But I'm sure you can come up with something.
Yeah, I do not have listed on my eBay profile the guy who sold a jar of air.
No.
Because I
don't know. I think that's a cute novelty. I mean,
I'm not saying it's not a nice hook. I'm just thinking people should I buy stuff from the guy who sells air?
Look, it's not the person who's selling it. It's the person who purchased it. Okay. That's the one you got to look.
And Golden Palace told me, and I don't know if they ever did it, that they were going to open a little museum in Washington, D.C. where they were going to show all the crazy stuff they bought.
Yeah.
I see.
See, so what it sounds like to me, once again, and I know Chance talks about this all the time, you think it's crazy and weird, but someone else is going to profit off of it, because think about what that will do. You know, for that, what is it, Las Vegas, the whatever it was. Think about what that will do to them. They're gonna sell to a museum. It'll be in a museum, all of the crazy stuff that has been sold on eBay. Because that's a pop culture thing. Yeah. I mean, think about 50, 80 years from now, people will look back at various, times. And it's like, yeah, there was a company called eBay where people you could sell stuff, and these are the crazy things that people sold, not just put up, but sold.
Hey, you're giving me some idea there now. Oh, yeah. By the way, Joe, have you ever? I mean, has that been published like in a book? I mean, because that might be a good book idea, right there. Publish a book on crazy things that have sold, But celebrity air, I can see that as a book, my brother.
Actually, that is a really good idea, because the one-man show has a script and has visuals, and I thought
you got all the information already.
At one time, I was going to make like a little half-hour documentary and put it up on like Vimeo for rentals. So if somebody wanted to hear the whole story, they could.
It is an interesting story. I think you should. And then with the book on that, I mean, hey, you never know. Hey, now you can monetize it further. So let us know. The monetize you show, we want to help you monetize further too. So
that's right. That's right. I mean,
I think a book will be great. Come on, give us more
ideas. Come on, Chance, give it to me. All right, I got a book. What else do I got to do?
You have a book right there. We have the documentary coming, and maybe we can create an online course, how to sell crazy things online.
That's true.
Come on, brother. Let's put our minds together. Holidays coming up soon.
See what happens. When you come onto the show. You just, you come in with a concept. You're going to leave out with a business.
It's like I'm getting a little swag bag. It's an idea.
I'm telling you.
The idea swag bag.
You can now. That's right. You can create promotional merchandise. I sold a jar of air on eBay. You know how many people would buy that? Because that's crazy.
A lot of people. I also, these shirts I had as perks. I'll quickly tell you what Vampire Mob is, because Gail asked before we started the show. Vampire Mob is, I moved to Los Angeles in 1997 because I was a writer, actor, comedian, and got noticed out here. And nothing went the way I wanted. And when I figured out that I was spending my entire life waiting to be picked by someone to give me a temp job in the entertainment industry, I'm like, this is really stupid. So I'm like, it was 2010, and I'm looking at what's going on online, and I'm looking at YouTube and people watching video, and everything was going. Netflix was 3 years into the Roku And I'm like, this is not working. This is like, all I'm going to do is type and wait to be picked. So I started making my own shorts and learned how to write, direct, edit. I went to school for photography, so the lighting and that stuff was really easy for me. Because I was an actor, working with actors really easy for me. I wrote everything that I've directed and shot, except for like stuff for clients. And so Vampire Mob, I tripped over this idea when I was working as a private investigator. Part of the job was you had to lie. All I did was lie to people and get them to tell me information that lawyers wanted at giant corporations. And so I was investigating something that was a mafia trademark, like not the mafia, but it was mafia related. And I said, hey, you know, there's all these vampire stories and there hasn't been a mafia story in a while. Where's the Vampire Mob story? And at the millisecond I said it, I wrote that down, registered the domain name, started. And I worked in Boston. I had mob regulars at this bar. So I kind of knew the vibe of real mob guys. And so I wanted to make sort of like a vampire show that I wanted to watch. Who cares about Twilight True Blood? So it is about a hitman whose mother-in-law moves in for eternity. And the cast includes Marsha Wallace, who was on the Bob Newhart show. She was Mrs. Krabappel on The Simpsons. There are cast members from Twin Peaks, Parks and Recreation, Sopranos, Criminal Minds, Kirsten Bangs Ness, who's Penelope Garcia. She's in both seasons. Unfortunately, Marsha Wallace passed away in 2013 when we were supposed to make season 3. And that's when I turned it into a graphic novel, having never written a graphic novel, knowing nothing about comic books. One thing in terms of like, if you have a creative idea and you know people online who trust you, I've crowdfunded. I've crowdfunded probably about 60, 70 grand of stuff over 8 projects.
Awesome.
When Vampire Mob was paid for before I printed it.
That's great.
So then you know, Chance, you know, once you have a book, it exists. You don't have to keep doing anything. All you do is just sell it. And right now, issue 2 is being drawn. That'll come out early next year. And I have a giant script that was supposed to be an hour and a half of television. And that's what I'm adapting into it. And it has a great online audience. And these were the first perks. And then last year, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I knew people wanted to we want to help. So I put these shirts on Teespring. And, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those shirts have sold and continue to sell. That is really great. They're walking around wearing them. Like, people always ask me about this. I got hoodies. People walk up like, where'd you get that? And that is a hard thing to come across. So that is great. Always sells.
Yeah, that is awesome. And you know, October is
breast cancer awareness.
Now, this is just to let people know, and I'm going to constantly say this: when you always focus on what you want, and cancer is not what we want. So I say this is Breast Health Awareness Month. This is how to keep them healthy. Okay. So, and so that's really a really good thing. So as we totally wind down, because we're a little bit over, but I just want to ask just one thing. So in 10 seconds, 3 things real quick. Because first of all, I love, thank you, Chance. I love that idea. You really could. And then I had asked, I think it was Tara Lee, I'm not sure. But anyway, mentioned that you could have a workshop on, and really, and oftentimes it's like not only how to sell really crazy things, but that also helps to kind of get the creative juices flowing and things like that. So in 10 seconds, give me 3 things that a person can do from how to set up, get it sold, and be a success on eBay.
Main thing, you got to find something to sell, whether you're out buying it. You got to research to make sure that you're selling it so you make a profit and it's being sold often enough that you will. And then the other thing is you have to be patient AF. You have to be patient and pay attention and try stuff. Sometimes one little tip, it'll take 4 seconds. List something at 99 cents. Have 3 of them. see if the auction goes high enough. If it goes to a high enough price and sells, you have second offers you can give to other people. And if they don't know you have more than one, then you can literally sell 5 things off one auction in one shot. I've done that tons of times.
Great tip. I like that. That's a terrific tip. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you came, brought some total creativity to the show today.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I just would have never thought it. And if I were you, I would get with Chance, because I think, we have a book in the making. So, you know, coming to an Amazon store near you. Okay, that's how that's going to go. And so, Chance, I cannot remember. Do I need to throw this over to you at this point, or am I taking it from here? Because I don't remember.
Whatever you would like. No, what we just want to do though, it's time for us. I mean, you can announce the giveaway on the Facebook side. I think, let's see here. Actually, Danica just joined us as well. She's commenting there. I think the most comments seems to be Shamanda Ramsey. Is that how we say her last name? Shamanda Ramsey, Ramsay. I think she's our top commenter there. I don't know about the Periscope side.
No, no, you've got that one. That's nope. We're good.
Okay, so you can announce the gift on there, and then also we spoke about some of the things that Joe spoke today is awesome, and so he shared with you again, you know, principles as well in promotion and marketing, where, you know, you got to get out there, get on different platforms. So what we'd like you to do, Gail, if you can just announce the gifts, the winner, what they're going to get, where they can go get it. And also we want to help people to be able to get known faster. If you're going to sell things online, especially, there are many platforms, there are many ways for you to get your message out there. So Gail has a wonderful program and course that can help you to be able to do all that. So take it away.
All right. So first of all, congratulations to, say it again, Shalonda. Is that how you say it?
Shamanda, Shermanda.
Shamanda.
Ramsey.
Ramsey. Okay. Shamanda Ramsey. Shamanda Ramsey, you have just won a selfie ring from the cell phone video store, that our sponsor for today. So what we need to do is we will get with you. We need you to DM us your email so that we can make sure that you get that. So congratulations to Shema. Oh, say it again. I gotta make sure I'm saying it. I don't like this.
I hope I'm saying it right too as well. Shamanda Ramsey. You are the winner today.
Amanda. Okay, so I just want to make sure that got right. So yes, and here is the deal. So what we recognize is this: when you are online, we are always looking for how to get online. Not only how to get online, how to get on live stream, and how to get known as fast as you possibly can, okay? Because just like Joe, who's getting ready to write his book, okay? And then we're going to send him on a book tour all around the virtual world, okay? Well, it's the same thing. You can do the same thing. And so what we've done is I've put together a course, and it's called Get Known Faster Workshop. And what it will do, it will show you how to get prepared to go onto other people's platforms. There are tons of podcasters out there right now who are looking for people like you who have a book, who have a story, who have something to share that to their audience, and they're looking for you. But you've got to be prepared. You've got to know how to bring your A game onto the platform so that not only will their audience like you, but they're going to want to have you back. And so we are sharing how to make that happen. So I've got I put together a course for you. I believe the link is there on how to connect with me. I do believe that we have that. Mr. Curtis, okay, that's something that's
on screen right there.
Okay, good. So
the monetizeyouShow.com/get-known-faster course. The monetizeyouShow.com/get-known-faster and dash course. So there you go. You guys can check it out. It's right there. We put it in the show notes as well. If you want to get the show notes, make sure you go to the monetizeyouShow.com, the monetizeyouShow.com, or also watch the replay.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Watch the replay, check that out, and you know, make that happen. And then again, last but not least, I want to remind everybody one more time again that we are having a flash sale on you participating in the holiday home shopping event. You can come on, it's our show and sell 3-day event for Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. Okay. We right now, today, the next 24 hours, we are having a flash sale. If you want to be able to take advantage of it at the price that it is right now, you need to go there today, because when this shows up next week, it will not be at that price. I'm just letting you know. And this is not hype. This is not, you know, what's they call that little bait and switch thing? No, it won't be that price. Trust me, it won't be that price. So you guys can definitely take advantage of that. If you have things that you want to sell, come on. This is the place and the platform to do it and have a bunch of fun. So I think I covered everything, Mr. Chance?
I think you got it. I think you got it.
So one more time, I want to thank, Joe. I so appreciate it. I have learned how to sell air in a jar. Celebrity. You got to make, it has to be celebrity. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us and sharing the information that, you know, eBay is still out there, alive and well. I also, as always, want to thank our producer. We got the wizard behind us, okay? We've got the wizard here, Mr. Curtis Brooks, Media Production. He is making all of the magic happen behind the scenes. If at any time, even if you just want to have a conversation of, I want to be like Gail and Chance, you know, I want to do that, you need to talk to Curtis Brooks, okay? And again, when you go onto our page, onto Monetize You, that's the letter U, Monetize You show on Facebook, you'll be able to get connected with Mr. Curtis Brooks. He will hook you up. And last but not least, thank you over there on Periscope land. I love to send my love out to those who shared with us today. Really appreciate you being here and supporting the show. Keep doing that. Keep sharing it out, letting people know we are here, because how many other shows have you seen where somebody sold jar of air in a jar? Okay, that's not something you get every day. Okay, so that's what we bring to you. That's what we bring to you. Okay, there is nothing under the sun, and Joe has just proved it. There is nothing under the sun that you can imagine that you can't somehow sell it. Okay, and Chance is going to help him take it even further than that. Okay, so that's how that goes. So so with that, and without further ado, guys, really appreciate you guys being here, and look forward to seeing you again for the next episode of the Monetize You show. We're gonna bring you another show that is gonna be amazing. So we will see you next week, and as always, I always end the show by saying, if you can imagine it, and you just saw it today, then you can monetize it. See you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.